Auburn had a lot going for them in recruiting heading into the weekend, but how will the Tigers' mind-blowing 31-10 loss to New Mexico State impact Auburn's recruiting momentum? In this video, we'll get Auburn Live insider Cole Pinkston on the show to see if the Tigers blew it for five-star wide receiver Cam Coleman. Is proof of concept going to bite Auburn on the recruiting trail? Plus, what the overall impact is on Auburn's recruiting efforts as we're under 2 months to the early signing period. But first, Auburn fans, hit the subscribe button to the On3 Recruits channel. Stay locked in as we take you on this roller coaster ride to signing day. All right, let's bring on my guy, Cole Pinkston of Auburn Live. And Cole, man, was Saturday more about a lack of focus or lack of talent for Auburn?
Well, when you look at New Mexico State and Auburn, I mean, you know that talent favors Auburn. It's going to. That's just the way that it's been. But look, New Mexico State was hot coming in. We knew that. They were on a 6-game winning streak. All of these things, I think Auburn was not motivated, depending on, what plays into that, what factors into that. But combination of all those things end up in Auburn, getting beat in every aspect of the game.
All right, so you and I, we've covered recruiting for a long time, and there's two things that play into it. You have the communication side, and then you have the on-field side, what happens on the field. So how much of Auburn's recruiting success is based on communication and relationships versus how much of it is going to be based off of proof of concept or what the recruit sees on the field?
Yeah, I look at it as like when you buy a house, you have principal and interest, right? Okay. And your interest is really high, but it goes down over time. Your principal starts coming up. Well, in year one, in my opinion, proof of concept is important, but it's not the ultimate factor. Okay. I think communication with these guys and getting out in front of it, saying, look, the way we are right now, unless we have you, we might drop a game here and there. That's part of a rebuild. So they're doing that really well, and every recruit, they seem to exude that. So that's what we're hearing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works. You can use that in year one, but when you try to do that in year three, it takes on a different tone. So Hugh Freeze utilizing that little wild card that he has in his pocket, that's a good play. So ultimately, though, how does this loss affect recruiting? What I mean by that is Auburn not going to be maybe as offensive going out for these big flips toward the end, going to have to play a little bit more defense, or does this not really push them off their stride for the 2024 class?
Yeah, I call it a minor setback. I think it is a minor setback because that's a tough loss. That's something that you have to work around. You have to go, look, don't lose trust in us just because we lost a game like this that we weren't supposed to lose. I do think they're going to continue to play offense with it and go after the flip targets. But, they have to start with reassuring the guys they already have in the class. Hey,
right.
You trust us. Here's why you trust us. Don't look too far into that. We got Alabama next. There's so many ways to spin it and sell it. I say spin it. Sell it is the better word because that's what you're doing the whole time anyway. I mean, this was the plan the whole time. We knew what was possible this season because the staff got out in front of it with us, speaking from a recruit standpoint.
Right.
So I think that they've done a great job laying the foundation up to this point so that when something like this happens, it's understood. You need me, right? You need me.
Yeah, and this is exactly why we need you. And to Auburn's credit, hey, no decommitments in the wake of that shocking loss. So it looks like, they're just going to continue moving on and trying to sell the program, like you said. So I got to ask, because 5-star wide receiver Cam Coleman showed up on campus. It was a bit of an unexpected visit. Anytime the Texas A&M commitment shows up on the Plains, it's good news, unless you lose a game like this. So does Auburn still have a shot at flipping Cam Coleman?
Yes, I think Auburn does have a shot. I've thought all along that Auburn was going to be in this to the end no matter what, and I still believe that now. And, we watched him, observed him while he was at the game, while he was in the recruiting lounge and doing all these different things. And, he seemed to be really enjoying himself. And I want to reiterate too, I know that recruits and fans see through a different lens. Okay. They just don't view things the same way. And that has become very clear to me in covering recruiting. I don't know exactly what he's thinking, but I do know that Auburn has done everything that it can to land him. And they're in a great position to do it. He's right down the road. There's a lot of factors here. They need him. He could probably start year one. I do think Auburn's got a great shot.
All right. Do you think if the results were different on Saturday, maybe Cam Coleman could have flipped, or do you think this whole thing all along was going to be a final decision at the end?
The number one thing I've learned about Cam Coleman is that he is almost impossible to predict.
We know.
So I don't have a clear answer, but it's possible. But I think he is wanting to take his time, and we know how big that relationship is with Damian Craig, who's still at A&M right now, even though Jimbo Fisher's not there. I really believe that relationship is much bigger than what impact Fisher had. So with him still being there and him being in his ear, maybe he's telling him he's going to stay on staff. We don't know. I say that this one probably was going to drag on a little bit anyway. That was the gut feeling that I had anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Coleman has still remained committed. He has not reopened his recruitment officially, but he is looking around. I think Auburn, maybe Florida State, but I think Auburn is probably the main player if there is to be a flip. I think that the Tigers are in a great position, and he's expected back on the Plains for the Iron Bowl. So we will see what happens. Cole Pinkston, thank you for dropping by today on the Inside Scoop.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.